Hello friends, welcome to Life in Envelopes. I am Jennifer Bleecher. Before we get to today's side hustle income, which is my business budget, I just want to talk about a couple things really quickly. First of all, if you've been following me the last few days, life has been crazy, but you guys have made it all better because you're so amazing. I know the reflections bad, so I'm gonna take those off. So, I'm not going to get into all the craziness that has been happening in my personal life. You can go watch those videos. I'm exhausted by it, but I did start a GoFundMe, and I'm not going to link it in this video because it's done. I need to actually go in and figure out how to stop it, like how to end it, because I had a goal of $2,000, and like within 12 hours we were beyond that goal. I don't even know exactly where it's at this morning. I checked, it was over $3,000. So I've got to figure out how to stop it so people don't keep donating. My plan is to use the $2,000 to remove the tree, and then anything above and beyond that is going straight into my emergency fund. So when things come up in the future, I have that emergency fund in place. So that's my plan of what to do with that money. I'll probably talk about that more with the family budget and other things, other videos that I have coming out, but I did want to address that right away. Thank you to everyone who donated. I can't even begin to express like how thankful I am. And it's beyond words. There's no words to express how thankful I am. I was trying to not feel hopeless, but I was feeling hopeless, and you guys you made me feel so much better. So much better, and you made me feel like I could do this, and I can't thank you enough. Okay, second thing, let's talk about the business budget. So last week I talked about how I got my hair cut, and I put it under a business expense category of hair and makeup, and I had some people question whether or not that could be a business expense. So for the last few years, I have an accountant, and my accountant always counted those things for me. I had a hair and makeup category because I'm on film, and he always counted that. But I was curious why people were questioning that, so I did some research myself. And first of all, disclaimer, I'm not an accountant. I never ever will give you tax advice or tell you what you should do. Always check with your own personal accountant and go from there. I'm not giving advice. I'm only sharing information from what I found. So what I found is that it's as far as people who make YouTube videos, whether or not they can count hair and makeup as a part of their business expense, it's like controversial. It's a controversial topic. Some people say yes, some people say no. So again, go with what your accountant says, but just to not confuse anybody, I've decided for my budgeting purposes, when I come in and check in with you guys, any kind of thing like that, instead of counting it as a business category for myself, I'm going to count it as personal income for myself. So when we go to the budget today, I'm going to make that change. I'm going to move the money that I had designated as hair and makeup, and I'm going to move it to personal income, as a payment to me for income. The controversy is some people say, and I don't know if these people are accountants or not, okay? But some people were saying, yes, it is because you're on film, and you're doing your hair and makeup because you're on film. And then some other people are saying it can only be counted if the hair and makeup you do for the filming is only exclusively used for the filming and not used in everyday life. Well, I use my makeup in everyday life. Obviously my hair is on my head, and if I leave my house, it's part of me. So I'm gonna check personally with my accountant, make sure we've been doing it right these past few years when tax season comes around and I meet with him. But for now, I'm just gonna count it as an income for myself. Okay, let's go ahead and get to all the side hustle details. Okay guys, before we take a look at the expense sheet, let's update this income from last week. So last week I had $30 I gave myself of income because I wanted to take Logan to the movies, and then to that I'm going to add the $93 that I spent on my haircut and eyebrow wax. So this is actually $123. So I'm going to go ahead and update that first before we do anything else. Okay, let's go to the expense tracker. So this week I made a debt payment to my Shields card of $306. We ended the week last week at $336. So that brought me down to $30. And then I made a mistake. I meant to, it goes negative, but my account never went negative because my income like cleared before this expense cleared. So that was okay. But what happened was I placed an order for sticker paper and then I accidentally placed it again. So I placed it twice and I didn't realize I had done that. I buy my sticker paper through Amazon and I accidentally did it twice. So I spent twice as much on sticker paper as I intended to. It will get used, so I'm not concerned about that, but it was kind of, you know, it was a bad mistake. It's an expensive mistake. So that brought me down to negative $396, but then my Etsy income came in and I made $647 last week. Thank you so much to everyone who purchased stickers last week. I really, really appreciate it. So that brought me to $251. I had my my bill for my P.O. box come in, and that was $49. That happens once every 3 months. So now my total is $202. And then my Adobe Illustrator subscription also came out, which is a bill for $64, and that brought me down to $138. So I currently have $138 in my business account, which makes me super nervous. Yeah, that makes me so nervous. Okay, but let's go to the worksheet. Okay, so starting with income. So my Etsy income. So my only income this week was from Etsy, and that was for $647. So I'm going to add that up here, $647. YouTube will be coming in next week, and Patreon's already come in. Okay, looking at expenses. So I made a mistake with postage this month. It was $100 instead of $150, but you may have noticed it wasn't on my expense tracker, and that was because when I clicked on, you know, buy postage. This is the postage I purchased for my Patreon orders. Anyways, when I went to purchase it, I didn't realize that my credit card was on there instead of my bank account. So it actually, the expense went on my credit card, which was another mistake that I made. So I fixed that. So that won't be happening in the future, but as far as my budget goes, wait. So as far as this budget goes, not my taxes, but this budget, as far as this budget goes, there's $0 coming out of my business bank account at this point. This is me tracking my business expenses out of my business bank account. So, so my budget was $150, but my actual was $0. Okay, so Wondershare, I'm still not sure if I'm supposed to be charged for that this month. I did look it up, and it is due this month for my annual membership, but it hasn't come out yet, so we'll just keep an eye on that. Adobe Illustrator came out this week, and that was $64. Kindle Unlimited, I canceled that, so we're not going to have that expense this month. And my second Capital One payment hasn't come out yet. Okay, so there we are for those expenses. Okay, coming down to my variable expenses, this changes. Okay, I'm starting the month with $0, and I'm tracking how much I actually spend in each of these budget categories because this is a brand new budget. I don't know how much to budget for those categories, so I'm tracking it this month. I'll be tracking it for the next several months, but I'm tracking it this month just to give me a starting point for next month. So let's go to that sheet. This is a worksheet that I just made in Excel that I'm going to glue here. This is crafter's tape that I'm going to use to glue this into my book. Oops. This stuff is really good. I haven't used it for a couple of years, so it's a little old. That's why I think the starting point was a little rough there, but it's good now. Okay. I'm going to cover up that part because this is not cash envelopes. Okay. So this is just like a worksheet version of this page that I do with my family budget. When I have my own budget workbook for business, which it hasn't arrived yet, but when I get that, I'll be able to do a weekly check-in like this in that workbook for my business budget night. So this is just a 1 month temporary solution. Okay, so coming over to sticker material, last week I spent $57 in sticker material. This week I spent $426. So let me add those together. That's $483. And it's negative because I started the month with 0, so I could see where I spent my money this week. So it's the negative part is going to increase and increase each week until we get to an end point. So it's not exactly like the family budget here where I had a starting point and then I take away each time. So it's a little bit different. Okay, shipping. I didn't budget anything for shipping. I didn't spend anything on shipping, so it's still 0. Office supplies is 0. Did I spend anything on office supplies? Let me just double check. No, I didn't. Okay, so that's 0 as well. So far I've spent $483 this month on business expenses. Okay, last category is over here. This is the income that I'm paying myself from my side hustles. Last week I paid myself $123. This week I'm not going to give myself anything, and my goal is to not give myself anything the rest of the month except for this very last week. If I need if I need money to cover groceries, I'll pay myself money from the side hustles to cover groceries. Otherwise, I'm trying not to spend as much as I possibly can so that I can have as much money as possible for my business cushion, which is my current goal that I'm working on. Is I want to build up a little business cushion, and then once I get that cushion built up, my next goal would be to paying off my business debt as aggressively as possible. Okay, friends, that is it for this week's Side Hustle Check-In. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed today's video, will you please give it a thumbs up? And I'll see you again next time. Bye, everyone. Feel away with life in envelopes. Plan your days. Plan your days. Plan your days. Get those stickers placed. Feel away with life in envelopes. Plan your days. Plan your days. Plan your days. Get those stickers placed.